I am Sydney, founder of Nix Code. Hey, Jasmine. And I have spent time reflecting on last year, and I've been talking with a lot of clients, wrapping up a lot of projects, but also talking to investors, investing in our platform. And I'm definitely looking to show them more potential out of our platform. And really, it starts with who's on the platform and what are they building. So, I've had some conversations, and I feel like, I've done Nix Code Academy, which has been an accelerated program. We offer services. I have YouTube, I have videos, but I still feel that, people aren't maybe hitting the mark or moving to where they need to go in their business or getting the app done. So I want to make sure that we can work through those kinks and issues. And hopefully some of these things that we can talk about today will help. I just want to caveat before I jump into it that I'm a straightforward person. I don't sugarcoat. Don't give false affirmations that your idea is brilliant and you can, like, I try to give you facts and different perspective. And sometimes I appreciate, sometimes it can be hard to hear, accept, but I'm really doing this based off my experience and how I can help you. All right, so let's do this. Okay. So first thing I want to talk about is when you're creating an app, and I want to focus like it has to be an app issue, but it definitely is a tech startup focus, right? If you're building a tech startup, whether it be mobile app or any other means, I think there are some core things that are important. So when you're launching an app, I find that people say, I don't know how to make money or how this is going to really work for me. And that's a big flag. If you feel that you cannot identify a business model, means you probably aren't providing enough value or demand in your product. So what I mean by people say, well, I don't know, I'm gonna charge users for these things, for subscriptions and all these other XYZs. And also keep focused that adding a bunch of fillers and features to try to make value is just you're adding stuffing to a teddy bear. Like when you're coming up with your business model and something to sell, if you can't just say this is the one thing I provide and this is what people buy, everything else should be a nice to have. People aren't going to buy bells and whistles. And I'm going to give you some specific examples too of some projects that I worked on and show you how we worked from building a concept to a true investable idea. So one, is your product value driven? Who is it solving problem for? And this is where I challenge people I worked with to really think strategic and deep about it. So you may come to find that you don't have a business model because being honest with yourself, that you're not providing value. Like, yeah, I'm creating a social network, but I don't see how to make money off of it because you really haven't niched down how you're providing value and who's on the network and what are they on the network for. And sometimes coming through this discovery, you may find out that maybe you aren't needing to build an app in the first place. Maybe that's not the product. I'm gonna give you actually two examples. One of the examples will be just how probably an app is not the right solution. But if you should change your mindset, I think you would come to that realization. So I have, there's a brand out there called Fanit, and it's about sports. And it's where high school and collegiate sports players can, upload their videos from their games, their, scores and pictures from their game and build a fan base around their athletics, which sounds really great and really cool and really fun. But the client's problem when they first came to us was, I don't really know what's the business model here. And they were like, well, we want something like Instagram. Who you guys? I think it's great to try to relate people to something that they're used to, but also you're also kind of disengaging and turning off your customers. Because one, you're not really providing a value through replicating something like Instagram, but just saying, oh, it's just for sports athletes. It's sports athletes are already on Instagram. They already curate their following. It is a true challenge and tricky mindset to think that you're going to conform people to move, leave, or prefer your platform over a very heavy, saturated, established brand. I get people all the time wanting to be, well, I'm gonna do this for, I'm gonna be the version of Uber. I'm gonna be the version that you have to be super niche and specific and provide super value. You can be successful being an Uber for women because there is obviously a customer base who feels like I want that level of security and value that I would actually pay or use an app that only lets women drive women, right? That's how niche and focused it is. But otherwise, you're trying to replicate social platforms. That'll be a struggle. First off, I'm probably over Instagram. People are over the Instagram. And then you're prioritizing development around the wrong customer. Now, why are they focused on the wrong customer? They're focused on athletes and they're focused on letting athletes build their fan base. There's a missed opportunity here. That's not investable. That's not revenue scalable. And making it a social media network. Because the thing is, it's oversaturated and there's too many ways that these people are already leveraging other platforms. However, because if I was an athlete in high school or college, who do I really want to see me? College recruiters and professional coaches. That's the value. Now, I can get what you're selling me of social media on any social media that already exists, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. But now, just by us introducing a new segment, you created a whole new different concept. Yeah, I can create a fan base, but who I really care about, how you're really creating opportunity to me as a athlete, as someone in college wanting to go pro or get recruited, or someone who is in high school and wanting to go play in college and get scholarship. I want to be seen because I think I'm good. And I want to be able to connect with those people. So why not think of building a network where coaches, because there's people like Deion Sanders, who's a coach, but he has an actual true initiative today to actually get more HBCU and more minority students recruited, because not this last draft, but the year before that, no HBCUs had any drafts in the NFL. So one, you don't have to do your industry research, but there's a valid problem and issue there, and it's evident. A lot of recruiters don't go to HBCUs. How can you use technology to allow a vast majority of coaches and recruiters see more athletes across the states? As an athlete, I see value. As a coach recruiter, I see value. Business model, as a school who obviously football and sports is a big part of their financial revenue generating business model. They would pay for a tool to onboard and get their athletes on a platform and connect with recruiters and coaches. Where now universities have profiles with students, years, leaderboards, and their roster and ways to connect. If anything, he should go from a mindset of Instagram to LinkedIn, right? That's the value. That's investable. That's something that, okay, now you're revolutionizing the way people connect around sports. You're providing value. And it also takes you guys really understanding the industry and what's happening and how it's moving. It took a long time to get here, but NIL has passed. There was a law passed for NIL, which means now college and high school athletes, and I think some high schools, maybe not all, but now they could become their own influencers and take endorsements and deals and generate revenue. Now, why they're not going to leave social media is because that's where the consumers and audiences are. That's where they can get more brand affiliation. But now they have even more opportunity to land probably more NIL and sponsorship and deals and affiliations by going through a more focused and niched platform. So we took something that someone said, well, I just want to create an Instagram for sports athletes with no business model, because trust me, athletes are not going to pay for it. And the reason why coaches, recruiters probably won't be on Instagram, because you got to think about the generation. And I know myself, like I'm not going to scroll through a collage of content. There's not a good way to connect. It's not very professional way to connect. And you do want that caliber to be seen. So I'm probably not going to be on my phone, Deion Sanders or MSU head coach, I'm not scrolling endlessly. I would rather someone tag me in a viral good photo on your platform that I'm on, or like, hey, look at, your students are on this platform. I would probably join and be a part of the network then. So this is why I always coach and help founders really get a new perspective and look at the segment. Now you're making money. Now you're making big money, not 99 cents, but you're actually charging schools annual subscriptions and services, right? Now you can add premium unlocked access like LinkedIn. I want to see who's viewing my profile, right? Because coaches and stuff can do it anonymously, but now I can charge users to say, hey, I'll get premium because I want to know who's looking at me. I want to know who's looking at my profile and my stats and my videos. That's an opportunity. That's investment. That's a whole new concept. So I challenge you to think too, is okay, like, what is my industry specifically? If you had to go to an investor, and sometimes investors say we only invest in these type of industry segments. What industry are you classifying your app in? Yeah, it's tech because it's how you deliver the service, but it's not really your concept. And I'll give you an example. And this is something I've gone through my own experience. I could say Nix Code is it's a SaaS platform. It's a no-code tech tool. But that's not what my business is. It's how I deliver my service. It's how I execute. I deliver it by way of a no-code tool. But I'm an educational platform that equips startups with the tools to get their tech startup from 0 to 1. How do I do that? I do that with my software for no code that removes the cost of technical and racial bias barrier. That's how I do it. So sometimes when you think about your business, we keep thinking on how I do it and not what you do. Let's keep the app and all the tech things out of it. What do you do? How you do it is with the app, but that's not what you do. So that's a piece I want to emphasize as you're planning and restructuring your app, or even considering an app, that mindset. That's definitely something that I worked through and came to my realization when I pitched Nix Code. Is we're more than just the tool is very minimal what we do. And just like the other example, you got to stay focused. We think about all this mass users and opportunity, and it's valid that there's opportunity with these grand ideas we have. But when you're starting out, it does not do you any justice to overwhelm yourself trying to serve everybody and everything in every way. And when it comes to app development, I get people who give me a whole list of features. And people have actually made investment in building something custom on our platform because they feel like they gotta have it because competitors have it, or it's got to be just like another platform that they're trying to mimic. Get users, and it's the most least used feature on the app because you really don't know your customer and you're not servicing how they wish to engage. They don't want to do video. They're over it. They're more lurkers and watchers than content creators. So therefore, you wasted the technology for people to create video content because that's not what this audience wants to do. So that's just an example about really focusing on one problem, one thing, one person, and one core tool in this app or this tech that you're developing. You have one core functionality, and that's what provides the most value. So the last example I want to give to you is someone who probably should not create an app, but they're going the app way. So there is an app like to be GPS navigation to compete with something like Waze. Technically, it's not going to compete, but they have the idea to want to build a custom map that people can use for navigation to get to where they want to. But while you're using that navigation, it gives you alerts, like it's like Citizens app where danger is at, warnings and things like that, right? What's the issue with that? One, to try to build a navigation system, not only is it hard, but we're going to get it done, but you're not going to conform and move people away from Apple and Google Maps. I love my iPhone. I love my Apple Maps. I I know all these other, I love Apple Maps. You can't move me away from Apple Maps. It just works so well with my phone. And there's some people who even have iPhones still use Google Maps because they love their Google Maps. People, when they find and are used to using a product, it is hard to say, leave that product, come to me. What you're providing, and then also you want to charge them for it when I can use Google and Apple Maps for free, it's not a good business model, right? Now, how can we make this navigation map that alerts anyone who uses it about dangers in their area upcoming within a certain amount of radius? It could be gang, it could be violent, it could be just warning. Well, here's the opportunity. And this is why perhaps an app isn't usable, or it's probably best to segment. Who actually uses GPS, who could actually leverage the knowledge of what's happening in the area because they don't have the insight on it? People like Uber and DoorDash, right? These are platforms who send people out to areas, go deliver food in neighborhoods you don't know, driving people through areas you don't know. And we already know things happen with Uber and DoorDash. We see the news, we know the story. Again, solving a problem or a pain point. I would just build a technology and I will become a more back behind the scenes software that integrates with these people's products. So sometimes you're thinking, and this is what I find, I like to think like we want a lot of front attention, which is good. I know we all want credit and you do get it, but some of us, especially in tech, are a lot of background players. Means a lot of your favorite products and tools that you use are actually leveraging a lot of other bigger startups in the background to make it happen. And that's okay. And you can be one of those people. It may not need to be an app. We choose to go to the app because we feel like, oh, I can have the control and I want the users and I don't want to share the users. Don't think like that. Your users technically aren't the people. Your users need to be the B2B businesses. So instead of a B2C model, you actually have a B2B. And that's where I'll be selling to. Hey, you are or postal workers, people who do utility outages in neighborhoods. Oh my God, they're cable people who send people out to residential areas or commercial areas in territories they are not familiar with. And how do you keep them safe? Having a map integration tool or selling them your custom map and GPS system so that they would know. That provides value, and that is top dollar, and that is investable. Do you see how we've shifted from something you had no idea how to charge people, because I'm not paying for no GPS map. So-and-so ain't paying for GPS map. We're not leaving Apple and Google. And it probably is not that critical to me that as often as I leave my house that I care about driving through the wrong neighborhood. I'm local, right? Like I pretty much know my neighbor. It's the value isn't for me. So really taking who's the value for and who's going to pay for it. Another concept of really upping our business model, upping our mindset, upping about who really am I serving a problem, solving a problem for, and who am I actually serving? Total mindset shift to do that. 2 ideas I just give you. Total mindset shift. And these are things that are marketable. And this is why I'm sitting with 10 people over 3 months to help be their CTO, to think like that. Because I think as founders, and I've been there, as founders, we get so committed based on a passion that we lose logic. And because I don't have a passion or any type of investment emotionally into people's products, when I work with you through your idea, it's simply pure logic. And I think that works great. You have someone who's keeping focus on the passion and the MVP, but I'm bringing more of that logic and technical thought process of implementation. And that's why the CTO program is really going to take people to the next level, because I think they need someone to bring the logic and kind of pull the strings and position them to win. Now you're positioned to make money. Now you're positioned to actually people say, I would acquire you. Now you're positioning yourself to actually be a brand. Now you're positioning yourself to actually be scalable. Someone mentioned to me, actually it was like someone on my team, right? about last week, and they were like, Sydney, I just don't think you see how big this thing could be, talking about Nick's Code and my product. And, you're always making us, focused, and like, you're always like giving us this small window to get these cows through when it's a whole farm, And here's why. And here's what I tell clients I work with too, because I think they all come to me with a farm. And I said, let's just work on this one gate and one animal. And let's get them through here. And let's get them fed, and let's get them healthy and long living. And I use that analogy to say this because, one, it is irresponsible to think you have the capacity and the knowledge to serve and do so many things, unless you already have the money and the team who can all sup. And even if you had the team, you would never put your team to focus on everybody. You'd have someone focus on this segment, someone focus on that segment, and that segment. You will waste so much money and time trying to do all those things and accomplish all those things for everybody. And I know that of myself. And here's the thing about it, with even like, well, just use me for example, because I don't put anybody else, out there. I'm not saying, so we want to focus on beauty segment and healthcare this year. That's all I want to focus on. Now, does that mean folks who are not beauty and healthcare can't sign up and build an app? No, feel free. Go ahead, sign up, build your app. But my decision is, I'm not putting my marketing dollars serving everybody. I'm not stressing my development team to build for everybody. I'm building for who's, one, spending money with me, the most money with me, which means they're validated, and they're customers who see the most immediate value. And two, I'm gradually building a product using validated data, not assumptions. I'm using facts. I'm using things that will give me ROI, right? So it is, as a founder, which you are, because you're the tech expert, don't let your mama, cousin, or coaches or anybody else saying, oh, you got to do all these things. I got this, right? You are the founder. You have got to say no. You have got to be firm. I get people who are willing to pay me for an app that is out of our focus. Yes. Do we want money? We're a business, of course. But it is irresponsible for me to, one, inconvenience my team to go off course. The answer is no. I can't do it. It is not in our focus right now in our business. It is not a good use of people's time. And what happens is we do say yes, so we do it. And when we get into the mix of it, it's like, why did I do this? The project becomes a pain. You're stressed out. You're overwhelmed, and there's no client or money worth that. You have, but you're the founder. You have to be responsible for your business. And you have to stay focused. It's hard because I know sometimes we see opportunity like, oh, I can do that. I can do this. Yeah, you can, but you don't have to do it all right now. And when you market, you don't have to talk about it all right now. So like for Nick's Code, we got all kind of things from JavaScript frameworks, cryptocurrency, NFT, social apps, TV apps, smartwatch apps, like beyond what I put in front of people. Although I know what we're capable of and what we can do, that's not what I'm focused on selling. That's not what I'm selling you. That's not what I'm doing right now. I'm moving at a pace. When people say, I want to make 6 figures a year, do you have the focus and the capacity to make 6 figures a year? It takes you being very specific, doubling down before you can scale, and making decisions. I just think it's about being responsible. And I think as founders in the tech space, it's hard, I know, but you have to stay focused and you have to be responsible to your team. And as a founder, to stay focused, not get off track, to create a plan and stick to it. 12 months at least before you say it didn't work. You pivot before you can see results. I hope that encourages you to be firm and to, when you create your plan of who you're going to serve and how you're going to do it, stick with it, do it, validate it. If you are going to get a CTO, if you have a marketing team, if you have a sales team, don't overwhelm them by having them do 10 things for 10 different people. Say, hey, this is the segment we're going to work with. Here's our audience, and this is what we do. We don't do nothing else, none more, none less, for at least the first 6 months. Learn from that. See how it goes before you do anything else. You have to double down before you can scale. And it is super attractive and easy to articulate your value when you have that level of clarity. It's hard to talk and market to everybody. It's hard to sell your app for everybody. It's hard to create content for everybody. And what I'm talking about everybody, I'm talking about even if you say your app is for women, that's a lot of people. Even if you say it's for mothers, that's a lot of people. You have to even get more specific about what type of women, what type of mothers. Single mothers, divorced mothers, mothers of twins, mothers of single babies, mothers who work, mothers who stay home. Really nail down who you're providing this value for and niche in that. It requires focus and commitment. Swear to you not, you will see success and you will see progress. Okay. I am committed to that. I'm committed to, you trust my word, you will see results. Let me see my notes here. Make sure I didn't leave anything out because I don't make sure I hit everything I wanted to tell you. Okay. I think that is pretty much it. But again, I do have 2 more seats for our CTO program where you can work with me one-on-one. There's no like program cost or anything, just to be a subscriber on our platform. But to also make sure you're building an app that can thrive on our platform. And again, who can use this help and like get to the next milestone. So I want to leave you with some homework, some action items. Again, building an app or whatever kind of product, it's a tech startup. I want to leave you with these action items. One is, what do you do? And I know it seems general, but as the example I told you, don't mention your technology, which is guitar, right? Talk about what you do without mentioning the technology. The technology is how you do it. I want you to tell me what you do. Before you talk about the how, what do you do? Who do you do it for? Think long and hard about this. Who are you doing this for? Who are you serving? Again, if I give you back to the 2 examples, I'll give you 3. I use myself. The Fanit brand is, are you serving students? Are you serving colleges? Are you serving coaches, recruiters? Who are you serving? There's got to be one core person. One core person. This person should be able to see value and use the core thing that you're serving. If it was the navigation app, are you really serving people who need to drive around town, or do you need to serve people who actually send people into areas? Right? Who are you truly serving? Are you B2C or B2B? If it was Nix code, am I serving tech startups and founders, or am I actually segmenting what kind of founders first? And again, I'm not telling you guys by niching down that you cannot, I never reject you. If you want to sign up and use my platform, please do. But understand, in my product roadmap, which anyone in tech startup, you should be creating a product roadmap because we know we got big visions. I don't have to start out the gate with I don't have to start the gate with all that. I tried. Actually, I tried. When I launched, we had like churches, schools, fitness, medical, nonprofit, like all these social, all these different landing pages and funnels. It was overwhelming. And my sales team did not know how to sell. Said, you know what? Stop. Let's scale back. Pick one segment. Let's nail it. Let's get them. Let's get success out of them. Let's get a funnel for them. Like, let's streamline them together, get it working, get it converting at a great, comfortable rate for us. And then let's replicate it. Let's do it one time, get it well, and then let's repeat it. Let's do it for this industry now, right? And it'll be a little bit easier and go quicker each time because now you've went through the kinks and you've learned. But trying to do that with 10 things at a time is overwhelming. So homework, who do you do it for? And then how are you going to make money? What is the business model? Really, what are you charging for and who are you charging? Sometimes it's not the user. I'll tell you that. It's not the user. Okay. Um, think about that. And I'm going to make you commit to 2022 being the year you stay firm, the year you stay committed to your core focus of what you're doing. Do not get off the tangent. If an investor says, if you're going to ask you those same exact questions, and when you got to get down to like the market segment and competitor and all that stuff, when you start going for investment, things like that, it'd be hard if you had to be like, oh no, my market's all over the place, all these people. Be niche, be focused. And if something comes across your way that is not in line with that, push it to the side. I promise you other opportunity will come around. I want to see you guys be amazing founders, launch really great products, and thrive. But you gotta run your business, because at the end of the day, however you do an app, website, a book, your business, you gotta be responsible and make responsible decisions. Stay focused, because if you onboard people, they're counting on you to make those decisions. They're counting on you to be responsible. They're counting on you to lead them to success, not overwhelm them, not drag them all over the place, because you're gonna pivot, that's fine. But I'm also trying to save you things from things I think other people have done before. And also create tech that's revolutionary. Don't be Instagram, don't be Facebook, don't be them. Be you, be something different. When you start come up with your app interface, quit trying to mock other people. Be different. Be creative. I think that will just will help so much. I think it'll make you feel unique in your brand. Anyways, I hope you like this. I'm glad I got to get this off my chest, because I speak to so many of you guys one-on-one that I wanted to offer this in a mass way. And I hope to see more of you. I think you would move quicker and publish quicker if you maybe cut down on, doing 10 and focused on one and getting results first. Learn first, and then go back to it. It is your business. You can always go back to next phase 2, next phase 3. After you win, go to the next game. Play the game, win, go to the next game. Don't overwhelm yourself. Be honest about the true capacity that you have. In Nick's Code, myself, we're here to support you. Whether it be just a coaching session, whether it be actually to help you think something through. If you are interested in my CTO program, shoot me a DM on Nick's Code. I'm pretty much all over the place. The one more thing I do want to tell you about, because I think this is a good resource. There is an app that I created on Nick's Code to help you find capital, pitching, and grants for your business, for those who actually are trying to do that. And I'm on Instagram Live, so you won't be able to share my screen or see it, but I'm going to show it to you guys. And actually, I'll just flip my camera around so you guys can see it. It's on the App Store, and it's called For Founders. I want to pull it up here so you can see some things on it. I may do a quick, if we can, 5 minutes, because I don't want to hold you guys up. 5 minutes on a quick coaching session around pitching and going for opportunity, if you are looking for investment or just to start getting funding. All right. So I am about to share my screen. I will flip this around for those on IG. Why can't I find? Here we go. All right. I'm going to flip this around so you can see my screen. And then everyone else on the live, make sure you can see this. Move myself. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to flip this around. Okay, so here I am. This is our control panel, Nick's Code, and this is my app that I built. So one thing I want to highlight is there is an event called Pitch a Founder. So if you ever consider business accelerators or cohorts of sorts, there is an event coming up January 26th and 27th where the organizations will pitch to you. And you can start making connections to find, maybe there's a accelerator program good for you. Some of them offer financial investment. That's there too, and some conferences. But the meat there are grants here. These are sometimes financial, some are opportunity for you to apply to. So like Google for startups, different niches. I try to put things that are all around tech, but they're not all tech related. So these are grants. So usually money that doesn't need to be repaid back. And sometimes pitches are grant based too, but it's more like you get selected through application process and then you obviously have to pitch. So there are some, and they are, varies by location where you're at, whether you're in Baltimore, Minnesota. Some of them you don't have to be. But here are some opportunities. At least I think I got into like April of information for you to start submitting things to start pitching your business and getting some funding. So For Founders is the app on the App Store. I built this with Nick's code, and just how we talked about value. The reason why I created it was because people would always ask for opportunities. And I myself will create it for me because let me answer your question in one moment. I created this because one, I have so much to do as a founder that I need a reminder. I will miss the deadline, okay? Especially like I earn a grant. I'm like, I wish something would just remind me that something's upcoming. So that's really why I created it. So when grants come close, like within 48 hours, at least send me a reminder. So I need it for the accountability. And it's just great to have all the opportunities in one spot. And within a month of launch, actually, it's been less than a month. I think I launched it like December 20 something, and we have over 200 users in 1 month. And we charge for access. So people pay because they see the value in wanting information, and not really charging for the information, but charging for someone to aggregate all this data for you. So it's administrative cost business model, because I mean, you could go find the same things yourself, but who got time as a founder to go find all this information and data, right? It's overwhelming. So people would pay for you to save them time. That's the business value and understanding your customer. Okay. Awesome. Marcus, how much are the seats? So for the CTO program, I imagine you're talking about, there's no additional fee. All you do is need to be a paid subscriber on our platform at least the enterprise level. There's some people who are in the program who are not enterprise that have already been endorsed in the program. Any new users who have not been using our platform have to at least be an enterprise subscriber to be a CTO. And you just have to apply. It's not for anybody. Awesome. Okay, Kalina, awesome. I will then touch base with you about a seat. I want to make sure that the people who are in the program are committed to doing the work. And they also have ideas, because my goal is to really put them in front of investors and get them investment. Not only, it's a win-win for both of us, I'll be honest, right? Investors want to know, does my product produce startups that are investable? And I want to prove to them, yes, it does. So I'm picking 10 people so that I can show them like, hey, look at these startups of people who are like revolutionizing the game, and they built it with my product. So that's why I'm also doing this too, because it's my proof of concept, right, for this next phase that I'm in. And I also know people can use the help. So I want to make sure that the 10 in this program, like they're going to commit to doing the work. And they have a product that I think is investable and that will, help penetrate the industry. I will get to all the DMs too pretty soon to let you know more information about it so we can talk too. So I share with you For Founders app. I'm going to just type it out. It should be 2 words. I forgot how to even put my sticky note up. But For Founders, 2 words, on Google and Apple app stores, free to download. Right now through this month, it's free to download. So go ahead and get on that now while you can and find opportunities. And I feel like there's one more thing I wanted to share. Oh, another thing that I think will help you think through your customer and providing value. Awesome. Glad you downloaded it. I'm going to share with you my pitch deck. If you guys don't know me, y'all know I'm a pitch queen. I've done tons of pitches. I've got most of my funding for my business through pitch competitions. Let's do this one. No, I don't want to do this one. I have a couple decks, and I'll do like an Instagram story sometime about the different types of decks. I think people, um, I think it can be confusing too. So I'm going to probably, again, if you're on Instagram live, you probably won't see this, but I'm going to share my screen with you all. So you can see my deck real quick, and I want to show you how this really helps articulate your value. I use Canva because I'm not technical and I'm not that. Oh, here goes my. There you go. I'm not going to use it though. Oh, I'm just going to put that name. Oh, good. I'm glad I did do an IG story on pitching. I'm glad that people found it beneficial. I'll break down more into pitching. But the app is for founders. I'll put that there. So I'm going to show and stream. Here we go. All right. Pitch deck. I use Canva, use a template. You guys, I'm not fancy. I go over value and quality first. Anyways, blah, 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 our why. I talk about our solutions. And interesting enough, the only thing I really talk about or sell is Nick's Code Studio, although I have all these other things we do. I stay focused. But this is the key part I want to show you. What I've really learned and valued out of my conversation with investors is, and when you're talking to anybody who's not the founder, because I can talk about Nick's Code from my perspective, but I don't think that really helps people. People find more, they can relate better if you could talk about your customer. Where was your customer before they found you? Where are they now that they have you? And when they're with you and they stay with you, how are they being benefited? Because anyone who's listening although they may not be your customer, they probably know somebody like that. They've seen somebody like that, and they can either relate or understand from that. So you have to pitch and talk from the customer's point of view. And so what I see a lot, when people start pitching and talking about their product, they jump straight into, here's what we do and how we do it. And you might get people to just look at you like, oh, that's nice. That sounds good. But people click when you give them the customer experience. So I'm going to walk you through Nick's Codes using one of our customers. I gave her a fake name, obviously, and used a stock photo. But I talked about who my customer is. So we talk about Danny, and I like to use her through the whole pitch. Because again, I don't want to talk general. I want to actually talk like an example. So I'll talk about Danny. What does she want to do? So here's her goal. She wants to create a mobile solution for women of color with hair loss. What is her problem? She does not know how to program a code, and she's also never ran a business or launched a startup before. So when she tries to accomplish her goal without me, here's what happens. She finds that it really costs a lot of money to get a developer. She's tried other solutions like mine, but they require workflows and they're super complicated in terms of critical thinking, although they remove no code. And they also keep her pretty limited for growth. She doesn't want to build it over and over. She wants to build something that she can grow with. And because she doesn't have the experience in business, she doesn't know how to create a user experience, and she doesn't know how to make a revenue from this product, kind of like how we just talked about today. So how does she get this resolved? Well, because of her frustration, this is where I mapped out my user journey. This is important. People say, what's your go-to-market plan? I hate that question, but an investor or anyone you pitch to, and sometimes an application asks, what's your go-to-market strategy? That means, how do people find you and how do you get these people? So I did a funnel. So this is truly how most people will find us, because one thing about Nick's Code is we don't do paid marketing yet. I don't do paid marketing because I'm a startup just like y'all. I bootstrap just like y'all, and I'm a small team. I just don't find it financially responsible to put a bunch of money in marketing. But I got 56,000 users, and I did not pay not a single one of them to be there. So I have organic growth. And so these are the funnels that I've used to get organic growth. I partner with small business associations, things that people go to when they need help. And I can share that with you guys too, if you're interested as well. So Danny reached out to her local small business association. Because we have these partnerships, people looking to build tech. We have a funnel called Nick's Code Academy, which basically is courses on how to use our product. They gave her free access, and then she started to use the courses and build her product on our platform. Right now, it's a totally free plan to get started. But when she got ready to, and she finished building her app, she published it. And at the end of the funnel, we got $79 out of this process. Now she has it built. Now she has it done. She was able to actually get it developed for $0 because she started for free. It took her 21 days to actually get the app done on average. Most people who actually leverage the content and come in with clarity can get an app done in less than 30 days. She only spent $79 a month. Her total overhead every month is only $79. With her revenue model, in 12 months, she made over 1,318% of that money back. Imagine running a business and your only overhead is just that $79 a month. So for an investor, it's like, okay, well, that's really good, right? And then where does she go from there? So now that she stayed with us and she's done that and actually gotten success, she's able to hire an in-house tech team. She built her intellectual property with our platform. She actually spent more money because she's doing more now. So we show opportunity for upsell. And now she actually has the ability to run her entire product with all our tools beyond just the studio, because we have other things. That is the experience. Not only did investors just see how I provide value, the problem I solve, and who I'm solving it for, they know exactly how we're getting out into the market and getting these people in, getting the right people into my funnel. And how do we keep growing for the users? You ever hear people ask you for your customers' lifetime value? Well, that's what that is. It's okay, you got the dollar from them, but how do you keep getting their dollar? And how do you get more money from the customer over time? That you need to figure that out too, just as well in your business. And if you also are strapped for paid marketing and want more organic traffic, I don't know your idea, but I'm going to show you. Here we go. It's called customer acquisition. It's how you acquire customers. And here are my 4 channels. So we actually build out partnerships, which is actually making introductions, building relationships, and putting your product and saying, hey, I have a tool, and these partnerships are people who serve your ideal target audience. And you say, hey, if you have people come through, you can offer them this product or service and either offer them a discount or your free product or funnel that gets them in. So like we established one with SBA and SCORE, which are always usually at any university, chamber, or any local area. We actually work through colleges who have entrepreneurship programs. There are actually business accelerators and incubators that we partner with as well. So not all of them are building apps, but there's a percentage that can be referred to and come through to our product. And of course, post on social media and like product hunt for like tech marketplaces as well. And so that's it. Those are totally organic, and they bring in people who are usually ready to spend money, ready to take action, and they're probably more conditioned to be ready to use you. They're the right person for you because you picked the right partnerships. So hopefully that was helpful too for those who are doing, marketing and wanting to get some more organic growth. So I know it was a lot. It has almost been an hour, and I want to give you back your Tuesday evening. I will look again at the comments and DMs if you're looking at a seat for the CTO program. And I can't wait. I hope this has been helpful for you. I will try, if this is helpful for you, I'll try to do more of these as I see what people need. I'm always open working one-on-one with you and helping you reach your goal. I'm really committed this quarter. I got to move you from 0 to 1 to 1.5, even to 0.1, but we got to move. And I want to see more apps. I want to see more apps having startup success off our platform. So as a founder, that's my commitment to my users. Just how I know as a founder, you're going to make a commitment to support your users when you get clarity. Have a good night. Take care. Stay well.